Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I, man, here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Roby, and Mscribe, and today we're going to be talking about Bitmap and the Metaverse.
Yeah, man, the Metaverse. Only the most important thing happening, and,
right.
and bigger than AI, bigger than fusion technology.
Wow.
Bigger than...
That's quite the claim, dude.
That's how I
Infinite energy, dude?
Infinite joy. How about that, dude? I feel like joy is the most important of all forces of the universe, dude.
Okay, well, I don't think anyone can defeat that argument.
Well, but if we incorporate DMT into this Metaverse equation, leveraging the abundance of energy of fusion technology.
Now we're talking.
And incorporate the revelations of artificial intelligence as like habitants.
And thermodynamics, dude, you forgot that.
That's right. So already we got super complex. But yes, the Metaverse is a big deal, in case you've all forgotten, which I'm pretty sure most people have.
Yeah.
For a lot of good reason, right? It's difficult, to say the least, to achieve and pull off what the Metaverse thesis is all about. But nonetheless, there's plenty of indication that this should not be a forgotten, initiative, right?
I was shocked by these numbers, dude.
I know, right? So, yeah, if you don't have kids, maybe you don't know, pretty much all kids in society these days play Roblox.
All of them.
Just about all of them that I know of.
No, right? All of them, because that's what the numbers are indicating.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so if you do have a kid, you're well aware of the Metaverse and, what's coming, right?
Yeah.
The next generation, they're being trained to be,
Metaverse
maxis, dude.
Yeah, correct.
Kind of like in the day when we were adolescents, we were being trained to be internet maxis. We were on AOL.
Yeah.
Every time we come home from school, the first thing we do is hop on AIM. You remember those days, dude?
I do remember those days.
It's pretty weird. We were some weird. Yeah, that stupid sound, the door.
Yeah.
It's like when your friend logged off, you're like, fuck, dude, my friend's gone.
It's like, I'm sad.
Exactly. So that was a very primitive version of the Metaverse, right?
Very.
Extremely.
Yeah.
But we were still locked in. I remember those days. Locked in, dude.
Yeah, you were so locked in, you'd chat with strangers.
Not me. I didn't do that.
What?
Hell no, dude.
You weren't perusing and just interacting with other humans on the planet?
Maybe I entered a few chat rooms. I don't know, dude. I probably did. It's ASL.
ASL, yeah.
Yep. I remember those days. So yeah, nowadays the kids growing up in this generation, their version of that is Roblox. And I guess Fortnite has a Metaverse ecosystem of itself. So it's these whole multiplayer shared immersive environments essentially where you're not just playing games anymore, right?
Yeah.
You're cohabitants in a virtual space.
Correct.
And, the range of activity is so much more dynamic nowadays than what it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. The range of activity depends on the developer activity.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, some interesting tweets penetrating the space. So it got us we need to rebuild our thesis around this, specifically the Metaverse on Bitcoin, because we're obviously hyper interested and focused on that.
Yeah, correct. All right, so we're looking at a tweet by Desi here. It says, I'm not sure if people can envision how big the Metaverse could be for blockchain. Roblox does 89 million daily active users.
Yeah.
To put this into perspective, ETH has about 480,000 daily active users, and Sol about 3.25 million.
That's crazy in itself, just how much more active Solana is. But all the meme casino activities happening on Solana, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, nowhere close to what's happening in the Metaverse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a quote tweet, and it says Roblox CEO David Baszucki.
Baszucki?
Yeah, said that the company saw record daily active users at 89 million.
Yeah,
that's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, we're seeing more content updates, and basically the pace of content is accelerating, which music to our ears, because that's exactly what we're focused on, right? Is the application layer of the Metaverse.
Yeah.
Specifically for Web3 builders, right? So, yeah, what else is going on with Roblox? I mean, the fucking stocks are soaring, dude.
Yeah, Roblox soars more than 17% as Q3 earnings surprise sparks bullish outlook.
Yeah, this is insane. So just go through some of these numbers real quick, just so we have more context.
It says, diving into the share price, so the company achieved a revenue of $919 million. Mm-hmm. It says, reflecting a robust 29% year-over-year increase. Bookings soared $1.13 billion, a remarkable 34% growth, and by over 100 million. With this Roblox has adjusted 2024 bookings forecast to be between 4.34 and 4.37 billion.
Yeah. So yeah, DAUs. So everything, all the critical metrics
That's so crazy.
are rapidly accelerating, right? So this is interesting to say the least, because it doesn't feel like the same thing is happening on the Web3 metaverse side.
Not at all.
But yeah, so everything in Web3 always has its big bad wolf, right? So there is another critical measure here.
Yeah.
The actual UGC, I guess, takeaway.
Yeah. So the question is, well, why? If it's going so well in Web 2, why even move to Web 3 at all?
Right.
It's like, well, here's why. This is even more difficult when you consider that Roblox takes 70% of the revenue from marketplace sales, leaving only 30% to the item for the creator of the item.
Yeah, the creators essentially. So yeah, if you're wondering how's Roblox generating so much,
this is so weird because Google and Apple, they take 30%.
From their apps.
And then now if you're doing over $1 million in revenue or something like that, they only take 15%. So this is
egregious.
I mean, more than egregious. This is a robbery.
Yeah, and if you're a developer within the metaverse landscape, you really have no choice, right? Because the market liquidity essentially is here, right? So you have to be subjected to this type of situation, right? Like if you're going to sustain yourself as a builder, developer,
yeah,
you've got to do what you got to do, right? Roblox is in complete authority here because they built all the right infrastructure essentially to attract all these users. So what is Web3 all about, dude? I think we need to remind ourselves of from time to time, there is a core thesis behind Web3 and blockchain and everything that this space represents, right? All the way back down from the inception of Bitcoin, to the inception of DeFi, and now in contextual understanding of what's happening in the metaverse on the Web2 side of things.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a very powerful mission ahead of us. Right?
I mean, at minimum, you're getting better margins as a creator.
Well, yeah.
At least that.
At least that, right? But also think of all the users of Roblox, right? You're only sending value into Roblox's direction. You're not actually receiving any back.
And I guess what you're receiving is in the form of entertainment.
Well,
and joy,
correct.
Right?
Yes, which is a very important part of our livelihood, right? But it's there's still a way to maintain that sense of enjoyment, entertainment, and such, and still have this cyclical economic system where you're not just completely being drained along the way.
Yeah, there was a time where if you were a YouTube creator, you were considered crazy to think that you could pay the bills by creating YouTube content.
Yeah.
Today, you're considered crazy to think that you can sustain yourself by creating metaverse content. But that's not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, correct. So, yeah, I mean, to me, when I see Roblox, and we were talking about this off cam, you're what are people actually doing in Roblox? It doesn't seem like it's anything truly breathtaking, right? You're not really impressed by any of these games. We literally looked up a video of the top games in Roblox, and it's
not interesting at all.
It's how is this the top? Well, to me, it's it's we're witnessing Pong happening in the equation of the metaverse, right? Looking back at Pong, there's nothing breathtaking about the little fucking doop.
Yeah,
doop. It's come on, dude. How could you imagine people in the 70s and 80s getting excited to do that?
Yeah, agreed.
But they were genuinely holy shit, this is a breakthrough, right?
Yeah, I guess at the time you would interpret that the fact that somebody programmed an interactive feedback game
on your TV.
Yeah. And so that insane. Was the mind-boggling thing of it is well, that means I can program pretty much whatever I can think of. And so the same thing is happening here with Roblox is that there's 90 million daily active users.
Yeah.
And they're all really not gathering any value for themselves. It's it's not a stretch to think that you could just bridge that to Web3.
Yeah, there's an article here that has a pretty interesting abstract statement. I mean, we all understand this, but other researchers are coming to the same conclusion, right?
Yeah, so this is from 2022. It says the economics of the metaverse, a comparison with the real economy.
Yeah, so definitely should. I mean, we love this type of like research, right? Because everything we do as far as developing things
It mimics
for
reality.
the metaverse, we're trying our best to like draw all these parallels from our real world economy and bring them into like the virtual economy.
Yes.
Right? Because it makes the most sense, and we feel like it's going to actually contribute to sustainability over time, right? So, what I wanted to just in that article is like at the very end of it, it's on the abstract.
Oh, in the abstract?
Yeah, just read like the last couple of lines.
All right. It says here, in the metaverse, market demand is based on the use of value and scarcity of goods. And a market supply is driven by a combination of economic and non-economic motives. The smooth functioning of the metaverse economy relies on property rights and monetary systems. And blockchain technology is increasingly becoming the basis for both of these systems.
Correct. Yeah. So one of our we have a lot of like theses over the years, but one of the big ones has always been the end game, the end of the road of like all of this blockchain tinkering, experimenting, all these deployments of new primitives and stuff like DeFi, all these new composable functionalities. I guess they're really intended to be utilized within the metaverse to support like a virtual economy.
Yeah, what this is telling me is that essentially we are right.
Yeah, that's why this article stuck out to me, dude. There's a researcher out there who agrees with us.
Yeah, and by the way, this is coming from China.
Yeah, China understands, dude.
They get it. They have a metaverse division in their government.
Yeah, because they get it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's wait. Yeah, like in today's election, which is happening in like a week or so, it's like we're barely just talking about Bitcoin as like factoring that into like our governing discussions and considerations.
Yeah, other countries have already adopted it.
Yeah, they're already talking about like the metaverse economy and how do we like support that.
Yeah,
that's how far ahead most other economies are understanding what's coming, right?
Yeah, so it's not really a surprise that we're right. I mean, we've been postulating this thesis for a while. The challenge is like, okay, what do you do about it?
Execution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. So let's talk about some of this. So we're actively attempting to execute on some, introducing some new core primitives and technologies, specifically around Bitmap and the metaverse on Bitcoin attempt, right? Because we feel like the injection of this whole non-arbitrariness into the metaverse economy, like we said, it contributes to like actual scarcity of goods, which is like part of our real world economy expectations. So we have those parallels between physics and the digits, right? The digital physics.
Correct.
It's, and therefore, we can have more sustainable economics. So talk to us about the Natrix, dude. Like,
yeah, so the Natrix is a 3D environment built on our Bitmap, and it's using BitmapOS, which is a technology we developed, and it contextualizes a bitmap into a 3D environment. So it takes your existing bitmap, it takes all the parcels, and actually gives you a parcel environment for you to distribute to your community. And so now you have this 3D environment, and you can actually build using MML. And so MML is essentially based on HTML and JavaScript. And so anything that you've seen on the internet from, Pong all the way to more complex things like yield derivatives, staking, all the complex things that we've seen in crypto, it can all happen in 3D environment.
Yeah, we're going to show a couple things here at the end of this video, just to kind of like lock it all in. Whoa, too quick there, dude. But yeah, so that's one side. So yeah, there's two sides to this Natrix, right? If you just look at this image here, the bitmap is at the root of everything, right? At the very core of this initiative. But yeah, the introduction of DMT as like the asset generation framework, again, rooting onto these non-arbitrary principles of Bitcoin, leveraging this like immutable storage of not just information but energy itself. Like it produces a much more tangible intrinsic value to the digital goods that are being produced in this virtual economy, right? So that's one end of the stick. The other is the BitmapOS technology framework that you're talking about. So
yeah, correct.
That's what brings it all together, where you can actually have like a very unique UGC ecosystem, right? That ROBLOX cannot reproduce.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
And again, people who are creating within this ecosystem, you're not subjected to like a 30% monetization like reality.
Yeah, so that's like one big deal. The other big deal is that in the Natrix, you pretty much own all the content there.
Right.
Right. The parcel, the content on top of the parcel, these are all like ordinal inscriptions, DMT assets.
Bitcoin.
Even the
stored on Bitcoin.
avatar. Yeah.
Yep.
Even the avatar is you own that asset.
Even the clothes on the avatar.
That's right.
Right. And eventually like the emotes and stuff. So there's a lot of verticals of like new, again, economic activity that can be injected here, right? So what does that do? That attracts more creators, more developers. What does that do in a result? That means more cool shit is being built and deployed on these parcels. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
People actually start to come and show up, and they want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
right?
and they accrue value as they spend time instead of accrue
Yeah.
joy with no value.
You really hate joy, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like value a lot, dude.
I feel that. But yeah, speaking of joy, I think so. Beasting, the creator of the 3D Nat Cat avatars, I mean, he looks like he's having a lot of joy here.
Absolutely.
So
I would enjoy showcasing my Nat Cat.
Yeah, in an interoperable setting, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we got a lot of joy seeing this ourselves. Like, this is pretty sick. So describe what's happening here, dude.
Yeah, so this is an event. I forget who put this on, but this is an event that Beasting decided to join, and he has the code for the avatar here.
Yeah.
And so he was able to just essentially generate the avatar within this environment, which is also based on MML.
Yeah.
And now you are interacting with this game environment that someone created with your interoperable Nat Cat avatar.
Yeah, so that's really what's important here is by leveraging Bitmap to establish an underlying technology framework, which what MML is, right? Therefore, you can develop avatars, you can develop metas, which are essentially the applications that are deployed in these virtual worlds. And all this stuff is traversable into different environments so long as that underlying technology framework is maintained and present within this, like, the stack.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, people don't understand how valuable that is, but you can't build anything even close to, like, Roblox-esque UGC without, like, this proper framework. Right?
Yeah, I remember who created this. It was Edison. So this Edison was like being pushed by Mscribe. But yeah, this is like an event to kind of showcase the technology here.
Yeah.
And so moving on. So Beasting also is going to represent kind of the first Metaverse-enabled tokenized applications in the form of a kiosk, which we're going to show you in a second. But this is another framework for creators to build another piece of content. So we were talking about owning land, owning wearables and avatars and like all the assets on top of your land. Well, one of those assets could be an application, right? And that application can generate you income, right? Could be a business, could be a yield farm, it could be a game,
or a component of like a game, right?
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about metas is, you can build an entire game ecosystem throughout the metaverse and just essentially fractionalize the different functions within this game. So, for example, like this is a wearable storefront, essentially. Think of it as like, imagine if Gucci did this, right? It's like, a reputable brand. Gucci could essentially leverage this template as like a way to distribute their own brand as wearables in the metaverse, right? And but it's not just like a singular storefront that they deploy, right? It's more like you take ownership of this kiosk. There could be 1,000, 10,000 of these, whatever. Yeah. And whatever metaverse activity you happen to conjure up on your land, people come, they purchase our goods, you get a cut of that. Now you're part of like the business of Gucci, like you're saying.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right? That's a big deal.
Gucci, hit us up, man.
Or no. We're cool with our Nat trip.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the next Gucci in the making, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be, right? Because Nat Cats already have that the esteem of being, the first UNAT collection. So, any like derivative product that follows, I feel has tremendous value. Would you agree?
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then not only that, I mean, you can develop this kiosk as an application where other developers contribute their own wearable sets.
That's right.
And I mean, you have like the spectrum of like opportunity for a developer to come up with pretty much any business model that they could, dream up with.
Yeah. So this is all important. So there's many more considerations to this, but like you're saying, even the land layer itself. So Bitmap introduces the idea of non-arbitrarily producing parcels, right, from the transaction data of a Bitcoin block. But, through LDEs, now you're able to distribute these to people and onboard community, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the tweet by Mscribe, which is our platform where we're announcing the LDE, a land distribution event. And so this is what it looks like. So this, you come to Mscribe, you come to our Bitmap 716472, and then you can see all the purple parcels and all the parcels with images. These are owned by the community.
Yeah.
And so these community members can now actually build on top of their land using that MMO framework, and they can kind of contribute to kind of constructing out what we call the Natrix, which is just the name of this bitmap.
So what does that look like, dude? In like actual in-world presence form. Oh, there it is.
Here we are.
So it's not just a map it's not just a grid of squares anymore.
No.
Yeah, we have a fully immersive metaverse environment, again, that supports, it has that underlying technology framework that we talked about that's so critical, right, in supporting a UGC ecosystem, and that has interoperability, meaning like anytime anybody else does an LDE of their own, which many more are coming, this same technology framework is applied. Therefore, these constructs that people are creating, they don't just only can exist like parcels within the Natrix, right? They can be deployed elsewhere.
That's right.
Same thing with these avatars, right? So
That's right.
You have a very unique avatar.
Yeah. So I'm donning my pup here, a naked pup.
It is a naked pup, dude.
Yeah, and you got your Nat Cat with lasers.
Yeah, so it's Halloween, so we figured we'd outfit ourselves with our favorite avatars. But yeah, I don't think people realize that pups. This is like a prototype pup. This isn't actually like what the Bitcoin puppets look like. I mean, this is what they look like in bear form.
Right. Yeah, and so let's go to the kiosk that we were mentioning earlier. And so if you go and check out this corner here, that's the kiosk. And so that is where, the first business in the Natrix is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we're that was built by Beasting, and that is like the first representation of the meta, but it's going to be a framework where anyone can pretty much create anything that they want.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're and then this is Nanomon. So imagine this like little I guess venue here becoming a battlegrounds for this trading card game.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a turn-based trading card game. So you can imagine, like, here I am on this end. Here you are. My laser beams are disrupting your focus, of course. That's like an inbuilt utility to this Nat Cat I didn't foresee. But as we're battling out, dude, I'm in here disrupting your field of view. But we have our own deck of Nanomon cards, and we're at full metaverse combat here.
Right.
Right. So this is just, again, this is an application in the making, right? So. And the important thing to understand here, that these are not one-off creations, right? These can be metafied, meaning like you can own this and deploy this on your land and build your own community events around this stuff. And that's what ROBLOX is missing, right? Is this experience of ownership, right?
Right.
Within their whole ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, owning this like potential battlegrounds could generate some potential income.
Yeah, I think it will, but, this is just, what's it called, work in progress. There's still a lot that needs to be built. But the idea here is to kind of clue in the rest of the market that this is, again, not something that should be ignored, because, the market right now is in a state where complexity is much disregarded, I guess.
Right.
For a lot of good reasons, right? Because it introduces a lot of execution risk and such. But still, you have to strive for something better always, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just factor in the metaverse for sure. Let's go one thing, just one little last. So if you look at Sandbox, which was like the darling of last cycle, we're talking Bitmap here. So Bitmap currently resides somewhere around like a 30 million market cap, like the collective value of all the Bitmaps that exist, right?
Right.
Something like that, maybe like 25 to $30 million. Back in the all-time high days, you had to do a little bit of calculation, but roughly it was 2.5 billion.
2.5 billion.
Like the collective value of all Sandbox land. So
yeah, so the floor price of a Sandbox parcel was 3.8 ETH.
Which is roughly like 15 grand.
15 grand.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, dude.
That is crazy.
Think about that. Think of each bitmap being worth 15 grand. I think it's perfectly plausible so long as a community, as developers, we're all striving to essentially like tackle this big bad wolf, I guess, of Roblox. There's too much like interfighting within like the Web3 ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea. What we should be doing is like punching towards Web 2.
Yeah, punching up, dude.
Yeah, punching up. Not punching amongst ourselves who have like different interpretations of how to actually attack the big bad wolf and to make creation much more sustainable and equitable for developers, creators, all that stuff. Like that's what really matters, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, guys, that's it for us. If there are any questions about the Metaverse, Bitmap, DMT, the Natrix, Nat Cat avatars, pups, there's a lot of stuff here, dude.
There is a lot of stuff. We're going to have a podcast pretty soon.
Yeah.
Just watch that.
Yeah, just watch that, yeah.
Somebody asked a good question. How does all this DMT...
Yeah, how does it all fit together?
Yeah, we're going to address that.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.